RFK Jr. thinking about? Benny Johnson is desperately trying to defend his sexuality. And Marjorie Taylor Greene just dropped a bomb on 60 Minutes and then immediately turned it around on herself. Meanwhile, yet another unqualified GOP figure is getting the boot. The circus just keeps rolling through town. And before we get into things, hi, I'm Lauren Paritra. Please subscribe to my channel because RFK Jr. is publicly obsessing over breast milk again in the creepiest way possible, and I need to talk to somebody about this. The words breast milk coming out of his mouth like 16 times in 1 minute sends shivers down my spine.
All of the ingenuity of corporate America, all the resources, all the resourcefulness has not produced an infant formula that is superior in nutrition and all the qualities that we want to the infant formula that God made, which is the infant formula in a mother's breast. We at HHS are encouraging mothers to breastfeed as long as possible because there is no better food for your brain, for your gut microbiome, for your physical growth, for your emotional growth, than what's in God-given breast milk. And
God-given what? RFK Jr. really went there. He really decided the world needed his hot take on breast milk. Here's the thing. We're not going to shame or stigmatize nursing. Not here. Normal people can acknowledge that breastfeeding has health benefits without making everyone around them deeply uncomfortable. RFK Jr., on the other hand, cannot do this. Everything he touches becomes weird and violating. And at the same time, when normal healthcare providers talk about breastfeeding, it's totally clinical, it's supportive, educational. But when RFK Jr. does it, it feels like we all need a moment to excuse ourselves and go wash our hands. Please, there is really also absolutely no reason for you to bring your great-grandfather's legacy into a conversation on lactation. Nobody asked for that. Nobody wanted that. Just stop. Stop talking. Please sit this one out. And on the topic of things nobody asked for and nobody wanted, according to Micah Efran and the internet, Benny Johnson wants you to know that he is absolutely, positively, 100% not gay. Benny Johnson, and the internet is really on one and on Benny for this for whatever reason, because Benny just is insisting on reminding everyone that he's not gay. He actually went full sermon mode with statements about protecting his family, praying for healing, invoking Jesus and the legal system. Okay. And then he posts endless pictures of his family. That will make sense of the matter. Seriously, if you were gay, it'd be fine. There's never been a better time to be gay. People might even like you a little bit more. And I wish I had something more palate cleansing and wholesome to share next, but the best I can offer you is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene went on 60 Minutes and talked a whole lot. And this has been a wild few months for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene's commitment to reinvention is so entertaining. It almost makes you forget about the time that she compared mask mandates to the Holocaust. Most politicians try to pivot by changing their policies. She pivots by changing her entire persona and starts trying to pretend like that was somebody else's fault anyway. Watching her on 60 Minutes, insisting she's merely an innocent bystander and all this MAGA stuff is really something. My favorite was when Leslie Stahl asked her a direct question about her own behavior, her own insults, and her own contribution to making politics a freak show. And Marjorie Taylor Greene's immediate response is, well, what about you?
It's the most toxic political culture and helping the American people.
But you contributed to that. You were out there pounding, insulting people.
Leslie, you've contributed to it as well with your own program. Yes, you're accusatory, just like you did just then.
I know you're accusing me, but I'm smiling.
You're accusing me.
I am accusing you.
But we don't have to accuse one another.
I want you to respond to what you have done in terms of insulting people, yelling at people, and then saying...
I'd like for you to respond for that.
I don't...
No, you can respond to that.
I don't insult people.
You do in the way you question, and you're accusing me right now.
It's giving, I know you are, but what am I? Again, I don't want to give her too much credit, but it's almost as if she knows exactly what she's done and has absolutely zero interest in being accountable for any of it. And then there was the crypto moment.
Now is siding with those establishment powerful people and against MAGA.
He passed a crypto bill that helped out all the crypto donors. He has served Israel's interest, even attacking Iran. He has served Big Pharma. He didn't take away the COVID vaccines that we want to see taken away. So those are the areas that are still getting everything they want, while the people, we're still out here saying we want to see action on areas for the American people, not for the major industries and the big donors.
She's shocked that the crypto bill helps crypto donors. Let me give you some background. Trump signed legislation that's basically like a love letter to crypto bros in the crypto industry. We're talking about rolling back regulations, making it easier for crypto bros and their little companies to operate with less oversight, and creating favorable tax treatment for an industry that poured tens of millions of dollars into Trump and Republican campaigns. The crypto industry spent over $130 million on the 2024 elections. They were one of the biggest donors. And what did they get for their little money? Exactly what they paid for, a bill that benefits their bottom line, while doing absolutely nothing for regular Americans who got wiped out in crypto crashes or scammed by platforms like FTX. But here's where it gets even better. Trump and his family are personally profiting from all this crypto. We're talking about Trump branded NFTs, Eric and Don Jr. launching their own crypto projects, and the Trump family literally creating their own cryptocurrency while Trump is president and signing a crypto-friendly legislation. What do you say? This isn't some conspiracy theory. They've been pretty open about it. The Trump organization launched World Liberty Financial, a crypto platform, right before the election. They're out here hawking digital trading cards and meme coins while simultaneously shaping the regulatory environment that governs the entire industry that they're trying to cash in on. It's one of the most blatant conflicts of interest imaginable. The president is signing bills that directly benefit an entire industry that his family is actively trying to make more cash from. That's not draining the swamp. We're looking at an office of cryptocurrency pump and dump schemes. It's literally, you give me money and I give you favorable legislation. And speaking of unfavorable legislation, or maybe I should say unqualified people in legislation, Alina Habba, the former U.S. attorney for New Jersey, resigned after a federal appeals court ruled that she was never legally allowed to hold the position. And if you don't remember, she's the same lawyer who promised Epstein's accomplices would finally face justice earlier this year.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking that there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret and not been held accountable. Let's talk about the reverse. I believe in accountability. So you have to now go through your process. Now, I won't say they're guilty until they go through their time in court. But again, now it's time for accountability. We have seen for so many years, Pierce, in this country, many investigations, subpoenas, testimonies in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a general frustration with accountability. We take it halfway, we don't take it home. And I really believe that now with Cash and Pam, there will be accountability.
Yeah, so that never happened. The court that kicked her out, the Third Circuit Court, covers New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. They deal with appeals from federal cases in those states. And in this case, ruled that Habba's appointment was a stunt. U.S. attorneys are supposed to be confirmed by the Senate. Habba's 120-day acting term was almost over, so the Trump administration fired her and planned a replacement, promoted her to first assistant. And then suddenly she was running the office without anyone actually approving anything. She schemed her way into the job, ignored the usual legal safeguards, and managed to temporarily sidestep the system. After being ousted, she didn't exactly vanish. She's now ending up as senior advisor to Attorney General Pam Bondi, the same person whose office she has publicly talked shit about. Now she advises on the U.S. attorneys nationwide, despite having demonstrated she can't follow the rules for a single appointment. Habba has a track record of overpromising, underdelivering, and turning legal loopholes into personal power moves. Watching her career move like this is a reminder that the system has gaps, and some people will exploit every single one of them. It's as ridiculous as it sounds, and to that effect, I cannot talk about New Jersey drama without sharing this piece of absolutely disturbing lore that I recently learned. Okay, buckle up. Trump is so goddamn shameless. He buried his first wife, the mother of Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, at one of his golf courses in Bedminster, New Jersey, for a tax break. Next to the first hole, very dignified. Anything for a buck. Ivanka died in July 2022 after falling down the stairs in her Manhattan home, which is weird to me and probably also weird to anyone who has ever watched true crime ever. But I found out about this when I came across pictures of the gravesite, which were completely unkempt. Weeds all over it. I was like, no way are these images real. And they were verified, by the way. They looked like AI because they couldn't even be bothered to landscape her grave properly. All of this because in New Jersey, if you designate land as a cemetery, you get a massive tax break. Property tax exemptions, sales tax exemptions, income tax breaks, the whole big, beautiful package. So Trump buried his ex-wife who fell downstairs on his golf course and is now writing off a chunk of that property as a tax-exempt cemetery. Her grave is literally a line item in his tax strategy. She's pulling her weight even in death. And because Trump is Trump, it doesn't stop here. Documents and reports suggest that there are plans for up to 284 burial plots on that property. Everyone better watch their back. That's a lot of plots. That's right. Yeah. Trump could potentially turn a significant portion of his golf course into a cemetery and dodge property taxes on it forever. So yes, the man who puts his name in gold letters on everything buried the mother of his 3 children in the spot that primarily serves his financial interests. And she gets to spend her eternal rest as a tax deduction while members play through that hole, which is like probably top 5 most Trump things I've ever heard. And if this video has been entertaining to you, I am Lauren P., Lauren Preacher across all social channels. Your support and your sub keeps this work possible. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you turn those notifications on,